You know, illegal immigration is a funny conversation to have with people because everybody come in the conversation with their own biases and their own facts, and the waters get very muddy very quickly. So, like for me personally, this is how I like to think about illegal immigration. This is how I make sense of it, and I think of it in terms of an analogy. So you can imagine a a community where it's split, right? So there's a split community, right? Or actually two communities side by side. And one community is very affluent, like really, really rich. And people have a lot of money, and I'm talking $1 million houses. And there's one particular house in this community that's like $25 million. It's a giant mansion, and it have elevators, it have giant pools, tennis court, basketball court, bowling alley inside. It has its own theater, it has a game room. You name it, this house has it, right? It have like 15 bedrooms, like 13 bathrooms, three kitchens. Imagine that. Imagine that mansion, right? But only you and your significant other live there. So like you and your husband or you and your wife, and that's it. Only you guys live there. And you guys have kids. So you and your husband or your wife, you live there, you got kids, so let's say you have two kids, right? So it's a mansion with only four people living in it. And now on the other side of the community, and the other community, impoverished, right? The polar opposite, right? And these people, it's like slums, rats and roaches, and you name it. The job prospects are horrible, no good food, and so on and so forth. And then someone from that community realized that, hey, you know what? That house on that side in the rich part is so big, I could probably sneak in and no one would know. I could probably get by. I could probably do it. So, in the middle of the night, someone from the poor neighborhood decides to, you know what, let me sneak in and slip past they have security at the front of the house, as you'd expect, and somehow slip past them, right, and get inside the house. And no, this person is living in your house unbeknownst to you. And the house is so big that you genuinely won't even see them. And them study a pattern, them know where you go, and them kind of when you're in them know exactly where not to be and all that. And they go to work from your house, they sneak back in, and they eat your food, and when them use the bathrooms and stuff like that, and them try to clean up after themselves. And everyone, if they do make a mess and try to clean it up so it don't look like no one was there, right? Like anyone was there. So, and this goes on for some time, right? And this goes on for like maybe 2 years, maybe even 3, 4 years. This person is living in your house, and you don't even know. It gets to the point where this person entirely puts your address as their address. So when they actually get mail come to them, but they're very slick about intercepting the mail before anyone that actually lives there can see the message, right? So they're getting mail and all that. So you are none the wiser that you have someone living in your house illegally for like 4 years. Now, imagine you go downstairs for some ice cream in the middle of the night randomly. You never do it, but here you are. You feel for some ice cream when you go downstairs, and then you see this person in your kitchen eating your food, right? In that moment, what do? Obviously, the natural thing is like, get the fuck out of my house, right? It's very simple. And the person goes, but no, 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 no. I've been here this whole time. I'm not causing any issue. I'm not doing anything wrong. I clean up after myself. And you'd be like, I don't give a fuck. Get out of my house, right? Naturally. That's what you would say. Because it doesn't matter how much bad they didn't do or how much good they did do. The point is, you're not supposed to be in my house. Get out. Especially, I have kids. I cannot, you cannot allow a stranger to live in your house while you have your children in the house and you're supposed to be responsible for the safety and well-being of your children, right? So naturally, you get these people the fuck up out of your house. Naturally, right? No. And then you bring in police and you tell them, say, hey, listen, you shouldn't even be here. And then, no, this becomes a whole problem now because this person's been living in your house for so long. Having mail go in there, so now getting them evicted from your house will be a whole other problem. No, but your natural your natural impulse to say, hey, get out of my house. I don't care how long you've been here. I don't care what good you've done. I don't care what bad you didn't do. You're not supposed to be here. Get out, right? That feeling is natural. You're supposed to feel that way. Now imagine that this person, while being in your house for these 4 years, also brings over their significant other, and then they have children in your house. So it's you, your husband or wife, and your 2 kids, and then this illegal person with their significant other, and they have a child. So now it's 7 people living in the house, but 3 of them shouldn't be there, right? And then the scenario plays out just the same. You come downstairs and you see the guy and say, hey, get out of my house. I said, no, I have a family here. Please have a heart. I have a family here. My wife is there. I have my children. We're not doing anything. Listen, we don't break anything. We clean up after ourselves, blah, blah, blah. And you'd be like, I don't give a fuck how many kids you've had while you've been living in my house. Get out. You shouldn't be here. Right? And that's how I view it. I view it as, personally, you shouldn't be in my house. So it really doesn't matter if you had kids while it being in my house. To me, it doesn't matter. I don't know if it matters to you. I don't know if you would still allow these people to live in your house. Perfect strangers. You don't know them from a hole in the wall. You don't know their habits. You don't even speak the freaking language, to be honest with you. They know just enough English to talk to you and tell you, please don't kick me out. That's about the extent of it. And to me, I think that's the best way to make sense of it. It's not a matter of being in my house, right? Just, I don't know you. And you shouldn't be in my house. I didn't extend an invitation to you. I don't even know what room you're living in. I don't know anything. All I know is that while you're being here, you're using resources. You're using up electricity. You're using up water. You're using up heat. You're using up AC. You're eating the food. I don't care. You shouldn't be here. I don't even know you. Get out, right? And I think that's the way you're supposed to think about illegal immigration, right? I think it's just that simple. There are proper channels to living in this country, right? If you want to do it legally, there are channels, there are proper channels that you could follow. And this one is just that you just shouldn't do it this way. Because I like to view it as like so you have a home, right? And the way you treat your home, the community is like an extension of the home, right? You don't want certain people in your community. You don't want certain businesses in your community, certain things you don't want in your community. And then you branch that out, and hopefully the people in the community have the same mindset as you, and they have the same vision and goal for this community and make the community better. Like you probably wouldn't want a casino, near where you live, where your kids are, and liquor stores and drugstores and stuff like that. So you would, to some extent, treat your community with some degree of the same respect that you treat your home with, right? And you want to secure it. You might have neighborhood watch and all that. And then you branch that out, and then you think of, well, the state or district and the state. Then eventually you get to the national level, then you get borders. At every level, there are borders. Your house has a border, your community has a border, your district has one, your state has one, and the country has one. And at each layer, you have to secure each layer, right? So I don't view me securing my house that much different from securing the border of the country, right? In much the same way that you wouldn't want someone to come into your house and just live there, and you don't know them or not like that. You wouldn't want someone to do that to the country, right? It should think along the same lines. But yeah, that's the analogy I use to make sense of this whole thing. Let me know if it makes sense to you, and yeah, interested to hear your thoughts on this issue. But yeah, just imagine if someone was living in your house and they're only there because you have a better house than they do, right? Because that's essentially what's going on. You are living in a better country than they're living in with more resources. So they think, oh, let's leave where I'm living to come to live where you live in. So yeah, I think this way makes the most sense. I don't see what's wrong with this train of thought, actually. I really don't see it. Because let me know what you guys think. All right. And have a good day. Happy New Year. Peace.